I will start out with the obvious. I do not have an audience, which I know will count against me. Truly, there's no excuse for that. I have the worst timing. Every time I go to record a video, well, so far, every time I've went to record, there's literally no one in my house. It is just me. And I feel like if I had stuffed animals and I panned them, they could at least fill in for the people that's supposed to be in my house. Got that out the way. Two, my luck. My power has cut off for 2 days now. Sunday night, when I was trying to complete it the first time, it went out at the most inconvenient time ever. Ever. And by the time it came back on, I was asleep. It was well into the morning time. And two, today, when I was in front of this computer recording myself, it went pitch black. And I thought it was just me, but it was the power once again. Now that I have gotten that out the way, I think I'll first start off by saying um, my first problem with that I identified is, um, I guess, professional attire. Even though this is online and even though this is a class online, I still have to dress the part like I would go through with anything else. If I was presenting a speech in front of my class, I would not, you know, dress like this per se. I tried to pick something more neutral so that it isn't so out of there that it's not in accordance with what is required. Um, Two, this looking at the screen thing, I feel like I have my paper next to me as a crutch, and that is where I'm shooting myself in the foot at per se, because it's there and I know it's there and I can see it's there. I guess I'm less likely to remember it. The introduction is always the easiest for me to remember because I feel like that's the most important part. I feel like an introduction makes or breaks your paper, because if your introduction is boring, if it's bad, you've already lost me and you haven't even told me any of the important stuff. So always feel real connected to an introduction. I always memorize it because I recite it over and over in my head. Next time for the video, I will not have this paper up at all because I need to force myself to be comfortable with memorizing and learning it. I just don't want to mess up. And I guess it's okay to mess up because once you mess up, you know where you now need to work on. Another thing that I kind of did not like is I felt like I was rushing myself, like I was going too fast. It wasn't enough time for people to let it marinate, collect what I'm saying. Um, I also feel like the setting should be more professional as well. Like it should just be a clear backdrop or something that's doesn't scream YouTube vlog, that it's more serious. Now to the good parts, my strengths. I like that I was passionate about what I was speaking about. I'm speaking about something that I know like the back of my hand, my mother. So it was easy for me to talk about that and for stuff to flow like it did. Because I lived with her. I've known her all my life. I also like the amount of information I put in. I liked different instances where I drew inspiration from her, like when I was younger, how I am now, how she's navigating her later years, like adult life and stuff. So I liked that. I also enjoyed how I tied the introduction with the conclusion. Um, I love writing. I love anything that has to do with papers, or I'm a writer. Give me a paper and I'll knock it out the park. So when I do a good or an awesome introduction, I always want to close out with that same energy with the conclusion, you know? Like if I'm talking about being with a superhero in my introduction, living with a superhero, seeing this supernatural, superhuman being right in front of me, I want to finish out my conclusion and kind of close it out by saying, you know, when the time comes, I want to be that superhero for my family. So I thought that was a good that was good too. Pat myself in the back. Um, I like the way I am kind of comfortable in front of the camera. Because it was so personal and passionate, I felt like I was having a conversation with a friend on FaceTime. So like I'm getting into it and I'm not stork or still or monotone or dry or so stuff like that I always like about doing this. Um I like my body language. It could have been better. There's always room to improve, but I do like how I'm progressing. Um, Truly, by the third video, I need to be a pro. I need to be more comfortable. So, like, I'm pointing out my mistakes, but it's really helping me see what truly has to get down and cut out the next time. I cannot have this paper next to me because I lean on it too much, and I don't want to lean on it. I want to be comfortable with reciting information and still have that conversational tone, make my audience feel connected. Um, Overall, I feel like I did good, excluding the missing audience and my problems with my background and being late, of course. Um, I feel like I did good. I did good. I did okay. I can always be better, but that is what I feel.